If your standing leg is on fire during cable glute kickbacks, you're not alone, and there's a reason for that. This is literally one of the most common questions that I get asked from clients and women in my DMs. How many of us can relate to this? You set up the cable machine, you start with your kickbacks, and within like 4 reps, your standing leg is shaking, your quad is screaming, and the glute that you're supposed to be working, nothing. And it's so frustrating because you know this exercise is supposed to build glutes. You've seen every girl on Instagram doing kickbacks. There are a few very specific reasons why this happens, and once you understand them, the fix is honestly really simple. So let's get into it. Okay, so first, let's talk about what's actually happening when that standing leg starts to burn. Most people think that their working leg, the leg that's actually kicking back, is the only one doing anything. But that is not true at all. Your standing leg is not resting. The second your working leg leaves the floor, your standing leg immediately has a job to do. It has to stabilize your entire body. It works to help keep your pelvis level, your hips from dropping, and stopping your body from twisting, wobbling, or falling over. And for some of us clumsy girlies, that can be a full-time job. So if your standing leg is lighting up, it's because it's actually doing something called an isometric hold, which basically means that the muscles are working pretty hard without actually moving. So a little burn is actually kind of normal. One way that I like to frame it with my clients is to think of it like a wall sit. Those can be brutal, right? They burn like crazy even though you're not actually moving because your quads are under constant tension. Your standing leg during kickbacks is kind of like that. It's not just casually hanging out. It's under tension the entire time. It's actively stabilizing your entire body weight plus whatever resistance you've got on that cable. So it is doing a lot of work. But if the burn in your standing leg is more intense than what you're feeling in the glute that you're training, that's a sign that something in your setup or execution is off. There are 5 different reasons your standing leg can be taking over. And for most women, it's a combination of 2 or 3 of these all happening at the same time. So make sure to stay around for all of them so you can get it completely fixed. Reason number 1, your setup is sabotaging you. If you're not set up properly, you're already losing before the rep even starts. And that is the issue with kickbacks. They look simple, but they're actually really easy to butcher. If your torso is too upright, if you're too far away from the cable, if your standing foot is planted awkwardly, if your hips are opening up, or if you're trying to kick up too far, your body is going to start compensating immediately. A good kickback setup should feel stable, grounded, and controlled. You want enough support so that you can actually train the glute instead of fighting to stay balanced the entire set. That usually means supporting yourself onto that machine, bracing through your torso, keeping a slight bend in that standing leg's knee, and making sure that your hips are mostly square and facing that cable column. And range of motion or kicking higher or faster does not mean more glute. A lot of the time, kicking as high as possible actually just means more lower back, more hip rotation, and more compensation. And when that happens, the standing leg has to work even harder to clean up a rep that was messy from the start. So if your standing leg is screaming, the first thing I would look at is not your glute activation or imbalances or whatever people say online. Look at your setup. Are you stable? Are you supported? Are you controlling your rep? Or are you just swinging the leg back and forth and sweating a lot for no real reason? Are you staying stacked through your torso? And if you're not sure what that means, check out this video. Kickbacks are one of my favorite exercises because there's so many variations and so many different ways to do them. And they're really fun to play with, but you gotta do them right. So if you wanna explore more variations and find the ones that feel the best for you and your body, make sure to check out all of my kickback demo videos, including glute press backs, because those can be an absolute game changer. And honestly, they're a staple in my training routine. Reason number 2. This is the biggest one that no one wants to hear. The weight is too heavy. I know, but babe, listen. Quality of control matters. Muscle's not built from random effort. It's built by doing the same lift long enough to actually get better and stronger at them. And that starts with using a weight that you can actually control. When the weight is way too heavy on a cable kickback, your body just finds the easiest way to move the load. So instead of your glute driving the movement, your whole body starts compensating. Your standing leg locks out to create a stable base, your hip shifts over, your lower back arches, and now the glute that you're trying to grow barely even contributes. The fix is pretty simple. Drop the weight. Seriously, drop it by like 30 to 40% from what you're currently using. Slow the tempo down and focus on your execution. I know it feels like wasted time, but but I promise a lighter weight with better execution and actual glute engagement will always build a way bigger butt.
Reason number 3, you're not actually using your glute. Your glute might not be the muscle driving the movement at all. A lot of women do cable kickbacks by just swinging their body weight around. There's momentum, a lot of compensation, and sure, maybe it looks like a kickback, but the reality is your glute is barely contracting. Instead, your hip flexor is stretching, your lower back is arching, your torso is swinging, and that standing leg is doing a lot of work trying to compensate for all of that mess. So it feels like that standing leg is doing a lot because honestly, it is. If you want to build some muscle, to actually have some definition to show once you lean out, to have that fit, tone, defined body composition, you need to pay attention to how you train. Movement is not the same thing as tension. Just getting into the gym and checking the box off is not enough to get that toned, sexy, defined body. Your body really just cares about one thing. Are you building muscle or not? Because muscle is what creates shape. And if your target muscle, aka your glutes in this situation, are not under tension, you're just going through the motions and getting sweaty for no real results. If your reps look anything like this, you need to slow the rep down and actually own the movement. I want you to have a strong kick where you're intentionally squeezing and contracting that glute to pull your leg back and up. Then pause the top for a microsecond and actually squeeze your glute at the top, and then take at least 5 seconds to return to the start like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No momentum, no swinging. Your torso stays friggin' frozen. Studies on single leg movements consistently show that glute function is so tightly linked to how well your pelvis, your hip, and your knee are controlled on that standing side. So babe, get your execution right. Reason number 4,
Check your standing knee. If your standing knee is completely locked out, it usually makes you rely on your quad and knee joint to stabilize,
which is gonna make you feel that leg even more.
Instead, keep a soft bend in your standing knee. Just a slight little break, nothing crazy. You're not squatting, just unlocking the joint slightly. That usually helps you feel more balanced, lowers your center of gravity just a little bit, and lets the glute and hamstring on the standing leg share more of the stabilization work so the movement feels smoother and more controlled.
Reason number 5, you're new. If you're new to strength training or you haven't been doing heavy unilateral or single-legged glute work like split squats or Bulgarians, your glute med and min might need some time to build up strength. For most of my clients who complain about this in the beginning, after about 1 month of training and dialing in their form and their execution, they barely even notice that standing leg anymore because they got stronger and their form is now chef's kiss. If you're a complete beginner, feeling that leg a little is normal. But if you feel your supporting leg more than the one that's actually kicking, it's probably time to fix everything that I just talked about. Could be that the load is too heavy, that you have poor control with too much wobble, your pelvis is rotating, you're opening your hips up, you're rushing through the movement, or a lot of little different things.
This is generally what I tell my clients. Hold onto the machine to brace your core and keep it super, super stable, which will also help with balance. Then keep your ribs pushed down and take video footage so you can actually see what you're doing, because I promise you, it looks way different than it actually feels.
Now, if you've tried all of that and you just want to take the guesswork out of it and know that the time that you're spending in the gym is actually driving results and not just spinning your wheels, that's what coaches are for and what I help my clients with every day. The link for my application is in the description. That's all for today, my gym girlies. Try these fixes in your next session, and I genuinely want to know if it helped. So drop a comment and let me know what changed for you. If you found this helpful, do your girl a favor and subscribe, because I put out videos every week breaking down exactly how to train smarter so you can stop wasting time in the gym and start seeing the changes that you want. I'll see you all in the next one.